Hi, in this video I'll be demonstrating how to wire a plug top that has a built-in surge arrestor. These are for the South African type plug tops. Over here I have three different surge arresting plug tops. This one is branded ACDC and the model is LP600. I then have this one which is made by Clearline. I then have this one which is called Surge Secure by Ellies. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to wire each one of these plug tops. And the reason why I'm doing this video is these are not all the same. If you look at this one from Ellies, you can see that it is completely different to the layout of the one from ACDC and the one from Clearline. Right, now you may just be converting a regular plug top to one of these surge arrestor type plug tops, and I'm going to walk you through the steps. The first thing is to open your plug top. Now in this case, this is a 2-screw plug top, so I'm going to open these 2 screws. Some plug tops only have a single screw and some have a clip that you put your screwdriver in and you twist it and then it pops open. Right, I'm going to remove the wires from the old plug top. Right, your wires should look like this. However, if you are doing a brand new installation and you want to use a surge arresting plug top, I'm going to quickly walk you through the steps to get your wires to look like this. So for example, your wire was like this. What I do is I measure 35 millimeters, 3.5 centimeters from the end. Then I take side cutters and just gently cut in just into the cab tire covering. That is the plastic or rubberized covering around the conductors. Notice that I didn't cut through the cover. So all I do now is I bend this until it tears. I actually am tearing it off rather than cutting it off. Then I pull this off, just making sure that I did not cut into any of the protective coverings for the different wires here. Now I usually cut the live and the neutral a little bit shorter. So I've just cut off about 8 millimeters. Now what I need to do is expose the copper by removing 8 millimeters of the jacket. For this step, I use wire strippers so that I do not cut into the individual strands. You can also use side cutters, just be careful not to cut into the strands. I then twist the strands and get it ready to insert into the plug top. I'm going to start with the surge arresting plug top from ACDC. These are not all the same, so I might need to resize these wires. It's good practice to first check how big the space is before you cut the wires. In this case, I've already checked that these wires will fit nicely into this one and this one. This one I will show towards the end of the video, which is different. I now remove the screws holding the bottom of the plug top. The one from ACDC has these springs. Make sure those springs stay intact. I then put this part down and I'm now working with just the bottom section. I now need to open these 3 screws. Starting with the brown wire, which is live, I pull this to the right. Notice the word brown, B-R-R for right. I insert the live wire into the space provided. I now tighten the screw. I now insert the earth wire into the topmost post. On some plug tops, you can actually pop out the prong. This is sometimes easier. Just make sure that you insert the wire in the right way. For example, if I insert it there, it will be wrong because then it won't seat properly. I have to insert it on this side. Notice that the blue wire is going to the left. Listen to the word blue, B-L-L for left. Notice that I'm screwing into the copper and not onto the jacket. The jacket does not go into that hole. I now slide the cab tire wire in a little bit deeper and depress it down so these 2 flanges seat into the cab tire wire. Notice that even if I try and pull it, it is tight. I now go around one more time to reseat all the screws. And I take the cover and I close the unit. Because it is spring loaded, I just hold it in place while I screw in the screw. Right, I've now wired the ACDC plug top. I will switch it on and show you the different LEDs. On the ACDC branded surge arresting plug, you should have 2 red LEDs at the bottom. That means your plug is wired correctly and also your earth is connected. If you have a red LED showing over here, it means that there's no earth point at your supply. I'm now going to demonstrate the Clearline surge arresting plug top. It has 1 flat screw at the bottom which I'll loosen. You'll notice that it is spring loaded. I wired in the same format as I did before. Live on the right, neutral on the left, earth at the top. Right, I now push the wire between these 2 wedges. In this case, I make sure that the wire does not go over that screw post. Go around one more time to just retighten the screws. Putting this back on top here is a little bit tricky because these posts here are spring loaded. So I need to align it Notice how the post sits on top of the screws. Now what I do is I take my screw and I insert it in here. I slowly depress it while screwing in. I make sure that the plug is aligned correctly. As you can see, it is aligned correctly and the screw is going into the plug top. Now I can tighten it and you'll notice that the white and the red parts merge together. For the Clearline model, the green LED on the top will light up if everything is in working order. It'll go off if the protection system is faulty. The green LED is on and everything is in working order. You might notice that this plug top has a beveled earth prong. This just means it'll fit in the emergency outlets. Now the last one is the Ellies version, so I just need to open those two screws. Now this one is completely different because the bottom part comes undone, but then you'll notice that we are actually wiring it underneath the plug. If you compare it to the first one I did, notice that we are wiring it while the prongs are facing down. Also, here is a regular South African plug top. Notice that we wire it with the prongs facing down. The live is on the right and the neutral is on the left. With the Ellies plug top, it's the reverse. Notice that the prongs are facing upwards. That means that I'm going to swap. I'm going to put the neutral on the right and the live on the left. Now you might also notice that the wires are too short in this case because this is a wider plug. So what I need to do is just open up this a little bit more. So I'm going to extend this by 10 millimeters. So in this case, for the Ellies surge arresting plug top, notice that the leads are about 38 millimeters. And I need to open this plastic compression gland. I just unscrew the one screw fully and turn it to the side. And I unscrew the screws. Starting with the blue wire, which is neutral, I insert it into the space provided. Right, I have the neutral and then the earth, and I just need to wire the live. There is the live. Right, now I insert the wire a little bit inwards and then I turn the cover, the plastic cover, so that it seats onto the jacket. And I align the screw into the hole and I start tightening. Before I tighten fully, I make sure everything is in place. Notice that none of the wires are sitting above or on these plastic protrusions. I now tighten these two screws. I do one side. It does not have to be very tight. Once it starts embedding itself into the plastic or the rubber, I stop. I do a quick check and I can see that it is already tight. I go around one more time to just retighten all the screws. Don't worry if it seems like that earth wire is a bit long. That is a safety precaution. If this had to be pulled out, the earth will be the last wire to pull out of the post. I now return the cover. On the Ellies version, the correct sequence is a light and a light by the live and the neutral. If all three are on, it means there's no earth connected at your supply. That means there's no live. That means live and neutral are reversed. You might notice that the Ellies plug is a bit bigger. Right, there is the Ellies working correctly. We can see the two LEDs are on. Right, thanks for watching and cheers.